Last time on Das Funk.
Hey, Pigman!
Just wanted to let you know, because you're on the Moist Watch, that I'm pretty close to closing the portal to the Dal Core. You know, the dream world where the quarry come from.
Shouldn't you consult with the whole Moist Watch before you do something like that?
Sure. Should I talk to your mother first to set up a meeting? I'm not sure of the protocols.
Meet me in the wined and dined flare.
Hi, thank you for saving us. We just need to get into the crater and we'll be out of your hair. Sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you.
Yeah, Shoko had tried to take the machine apart, and just you could not damage it.
Right.
It simply was invincible, and that's because it does not exist in the same time as everything around it. It's like one step out of sync.
Right. Change can't be induced into the object.
Oh, time cops.
Metal guy.
Some small fluctuations in the time stream are inevitable. However, this one has transgressed against causality and must be taken into custody. And gestures to Shoko.
Is there no option that I can offer to give you something in trade so you don't take Shoko? Can I give you some time?
In order to cover the balance of 400,000 Quizzle bits, which is also 6 Zimbims, just for the conversion, if you want to know, it will take either all of the time from this illithid or a hefty percentage from all members of the village.
Yeah, Neellith's going in solo. Fuck it, Neellith's doing this. I will pay for Shoko's crimes.
You start shrinking and shriveling as time pours out of your stomach wound. You get smaller and smaller. Your tentacles suck up into your head. Your arms kind of suck up into your body. Because the way we have been discussing this, and I have been intentionally vague.
I'm not aging.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not going to age you. I am de-aging you. It is stealing the time you have lived. And so when it withdraws its blade from your body, Neellith, you are a tadpole.
Swallowed in their coats, with scars of red tied round their throats that keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turn round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white so red as strawberries in the summertime.
Yeah, my brother's dyslexic, but he's also... Someone tried to sue him for discrimination against dyslexic people, which, doesn't, makes much sense, because he is dyslexic.
Wait, who got sued for what?
My brother, somebody tried to sue him for discrimination against dyslexic people, which doesn't make loads of sense, because he is dyslexic, and I don't think the person knew that.
Yeah,
Aha!
It's interesting because I think a lot of people don't realize how many people suffer from either dyslexia, dyscalculia, or some degree of both in some varying capacities.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I have dyscalculia in some capacity. I think my brothers suffer from some capacity of dyslexia. And so I'm very sensitive to that whole thing as a result. But gosh, that's a little bit of a...
I've always been really bad with, fast arithmetic, but, I actually did really... well in maths in school. I did my maths A-level 2 years early.
So, I was kind of the same thing. In sixth grade, we had to do entry-level tests for junior high school, and I aced the algebra test and failed the arithmetic test twice.
Oh, dang.
And so I still got placed into the pre-algebra track because I was so good at the algebra stuff. And so that's one of those things that made me think, why can't I do addition and subtraction really fast? I don't know, and that might be a reason why. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I took AP Calc, and I don't remember literally any of it. A single thing. There's nothing.
I've got dyspraxia. I can do words and numbers, but my limbs don't do what I tell them.
I'm sure your brother is not actually discriminatory against people with dyslexia, but there are people who are totally discriminatory against classes, protected classes in which they are a member. Ann Coulter's misogyny comes to mind.
What's really funny about the story is that it's basically someone who got really mad at him over a contract, and then like tried to claim all sorts of shit, like a whole huge list of grievances, tons and tons of them, like flagrantly made up. And it was just very funny that on the list was like discriminating against his dyslexia, which my brother didn't know he had, and he clearly doesn't know my brother is dyslexic, so it's like doubly funny. Yeah.
I was thinking about Herman Cain the other day, American politician who died from COVID, whose Twitter account kept tweeting that COVID was fake after he died from it. But just definitely a Republican who is also a black man.
Yeah.
For no, connect that back to the previous conversation. I don't need to say it out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just like, I will. These stories you come in with, Sophie, are so good, though.
The reason I was thinking about Herman Cain was because of the Kitsune and
oh my god, the Kitsune was Herman Cain the whole fucking time.
Oh no, that's no wonder.
God.
The Kitsune is now the worst.
Just because you're a part of a marginalized people doesn't mean you have their interests in mind at all times.
True.
Yeah. Like people that ask, why did the Kitsune sacrifice all the yokai? Maybe because it's a shitty yokai. Maybe he's just really shitty about that.
So speaking of Herman Cain, do you guys want to start the Pokemon?
I would like to start Pokemon.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of Herman Cain, do we want to start with seeing what Philippa's doing in office?
That's a good connection.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of Herman Cain, do you want to start the podcast? But it came up Pokemon because of course, Herman Cain quoting Mewtwo in that famous speech.
I don't. I want to talk about Appalachian cannibals. What's going on with that? Where do they come from? Are they eating people for real? Are they real? I feel like they might be. Like
Appalachians?
Appalachian cannibals specifically.
Like the McElroys?
I'm just thinking, like, if I put that energy out there, more Appalachian cannibal information will come to me.
Please continue all the bullshit, because that prevents me having to do emotional stuff today.
Unless it's with Appalachian cannibals.
That was last season. This season, we actually have to start with the fateful encounter between Nobi and the Kitsune. In fact, I think we're going to begin and end this episode. We're going to bookend this arc finale with Kitsune scenes, assuming this goes in a direction which can be predicted by mortals, which is unlikely, but I guess I can control where it begins at least, which is Nobi. You walk through the snow over to the wined and dined flare. You push the door open with your little snoot, and you see, I think you probably hear sounds in the kitchen before you see anything.
Yeah, so Nobi, who's been utterly out of any of the action, of course, and has just been on his private Kitsune quest, would go,
Hey, Neellith, just dropping by in case, wanted to see if you were cooking it.
And the whole time he's like kind of craning, like kind of trying to stretch up to see if he can see across, like, I don't know what he can see. Like, should I roll perception?
So as you're kind of craning to see into the kitchen to see if it's Neellith, the Kitsune comes out of the kitchen carrying 2 plates. He is currently actually anthropomorphic. If you've ever seen the Studio Ghibli film Pompoko, like with Kitsune's shapeshift into like salarymen to escape the urbanization of Japan. He's just kind of like an anthro, like a Robin Hood Fox style, just where I think probably cast in large reduce on an apron, and because it's too small because it's for Neellith, but is like wearing an apron, but is otherwise a human shaped fox man. Plate.
You didn't say this was going to be a sexy episode. God damn.
There's a candle on one of the tables for you. One plate has just like heather, wheat, or what's it called? Hay, heather, hay, or something. What does sheep eat? I assume it's hay.
Oats.
Oats, yeah, you can have oats. And the other one just has some vegan brain substitutes. Just tried to make a signature Neellith dish.
Nice.
And walks over and sets them down, pulls out a chair for you, and just says, hello, Nobi. No, like, intimidating presence. When you were getting mind messages before, they were very, like, extremely ominous and deep. This is just a man talking to you.
I think on that front, I'd like to insight or perception, whichever you feel is more appropriate, to read his vibe before proceeding.
Definitely insight. 100% insight, yeah.
15.
Yeah, you don't sense that you're in any danger. This seems to be like a meeting between somebody who sees use in you, sees your dedication. Literally what got this Kitsune's attention was you lit yourself on fire to accomplish a goal. And he was like, real recognize real.
Nice. Yeah,
In his mind, that is also what he does, is light himself on fire to accomplish his goals. You can agree or disagree, but yeah,
Right.
he saw himself in you. So
yeah, Nobi's like, Nobi kind of, from where he is, like hops up onto the chair and says,
Oh, hello. I don't actually know your name.
yeah, like liquid, the Kitsune goes from the anthropomorphic to the quadrupedal form of a fox. I actually have an icon here that is the Pokemon Ninetales. I don't know if I should use that or my backup icon, which is Yuno Gasai from Future Diary. I feel like both are
nice.
I mean, if you get that reference, go outside, please. Get some vitamin D. See the sun. I beg you. I'm going to use Ninetales.
I have prescribed vitamin D because not going outside is an endemic issue among trans people.
Mm-hmm.
And when my bloods came back and they'd measured my vitamin D, my GP, who is also trans, said to me, "Congratulations, you're transgender," because of how low my vitamin D was.
I mean, I watched Future Diary. Who am I to judge? You don't have to go outside if you don't want. But here's the thing. You wouldn't know this because you weren't there for the past scenes, but in the 20-year ago scene, I described the nine-tailed fox as being mostly orange. It's like a beautiful orange fur. 20 years in the future, there's orange there, but it like a transitions. There's like a gradient to like a golden white.
Interesting.
Like this is like the equivalent of like a man with some tasteful gray, I guess. But
Okay.
You're just making this even more like, just feeding it to certain crowds here, Austin, okay?
it is also just Kitsune lore that as they gain tails, they also change color. I guess depending on, there's Chinese and Japanese variants, and it probably goes, region by region. But yeah, it's an orange to golden kind of hue in this Kitsune. He is now the nine-tailed fox, still very large, bigger than you, Nobi, but he hops up onto a chair as well, and now you're just two animals sitting in chairs in this restaurant. And he says, "I haven't heard or said my name in so long, it feels like it's not even mine anymore, but I guess if you want to address me, the name is Inri, Inri.
Cool. Nice to meet you, Henry.
It's been nice to get to know you, Nobi. I admire your work."
Thanks, I'm pretty pleased with it so far.
Oh, yes, I have something else for you. He kind of goes under the chair. I think there's like a little bag, pulls it up with his teeth, sets the bag on the table on between you. You're both animals, neither of you have thumbs, so I guess he uses his snout to knock it over, and what falls out of the bag is a hat, a conical, almost looks like a paper hat.
Okay.
It has a little string that goes under the chin, and it's like colorful. It looks like it has like pictures of balloons and confetti and cake
Is it
on
Nobi's birthday?
Yeah, see, I get what this is, but Nobi... I'm just trying to decide if Nobi's ever seen a birthday party hat before. And Nobi's like,
Oh yeah, we have these in the we've been staying in the school before Mama became governor. They have these for the kids when they're dumb.
No, I believe that's called a dunce cap. The scholars refer to this as birthday armor.
The birthday helmet.
Birthday armor.
It is deeply enchanted with some obstinance that I've been studying. If you wear it, you will be immune to the criticism of your foes.
I mean, I feel like I'm already pretty immune to the criticism of my foes, but it would be nice to not have to worry about it either.
This. If you didn't already know that Inri was moonlighting as Hale, this would be another hint because Inri has access to a lot of artifacts that no one else in town would. But you already know, so there's no point in leaving more breadcrumbs, I guess. But I guess I'll say you can add this to your inventory, and what this does is if you are dropped to 0, you regain full hit points.
Wow.
Okay. But that does destroy it. So it only works once.
That figures, yeah. Is it more like I'm wearing it all the time, and then if I get dropped to 0, it like is destroyed, but I'm recovered, or I drop to 0 and then pull out a party hat and recover?
No, we discussed really early on, Anobi being a player character, we joked about getting you a helmet to attack with so you could headbutt people. And then I realized that there is an established magical hat in Dice Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I like the idea of it bursting in a shot of confetti straight from the top or something.
Nice.
And little music box stuff plays in the background. It's just a complete farce of an effect, but it just works.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry I didn't get you anything.
Oh, but you did. You got me the information for the townspeople, their signs and so forth.
You're right.
I guess if he if there isn't telepathic tracking that's been going on, he could relay that now what he's collected.
Yeah, we can do we're eating montage where inaudible dialogue where you tell him.
Yeah, and what's playing? Something deeply just sexy going on when they're gazing into each other's eyes.
These whispers are careless.
Oh no.
I think there's some Michael Bolton playing as Nobi hands over the star charts to Inri.
The saxophone part is just completely out of tune in the background. It's just it's off in a cavern and is not being played correctly. Drip is playing the saxophone in the background. Okay, that's what's happening. Or Basil. Either one.
We joke about this being sexy, and I want to say, regardless of whether or not you're attracted to Inri is not attracted to Nobi. It's important that everyone knows that Inri only has eyes for Voya. Otherwise, his entire characterization falls apart.
That's a fair point.
End the campaign early by flirting.
Yeah, I crit on making him love me. Oh, no more problems. He gives up.
If I can just crit on, let me see. No, Nobi would say,
So, what's your plan?
Well, I think most of my plan is complete now, so there's no harm in sharing most of it with you. I assumed you'd have questions, so you deserve something. I asked Mold to acquire the Akashic Stone because I had to cast a spell on it. I accomplished that. There unfortunately was a second part of that plan that did not come to fruition, but it will eventually one way or another, so I'm not worried about it.
What do you need the star charts for?
Oh, when the governor returns, she needs to know all the signs for all the villagers to govern properly.
Wait. When the governor returns?
Yes, Voya, Master Voya. She has been governor for many decades and will continue to be so forever. I appreciate the job your mother is doing. Of course, we will have a place for her in the administration. She, head of the police, which I assume you'll be the captain of.
Okay.
Does this meet your approval? You seem hesitant.
I'm just processing the new information.
Philippa's talents are in anthropology. I'm sure she would be just as happy. She would be much happier to be studying culture rather than, pushing little pawns around the village, deciding who gets their signs improved and so forth, who gets the extra grain.
Mama's studies have always been her first passion.
Yes, I foresee her being dean of Goodfellas University someday rather than wallowing in obscurity here. So,
you really have thought of everything, huh?
Well, if I had thought of everything, my the second part of the Akashic Stone plan would have happened. So I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard.
I don't suppose you trust me well enough to tell me the second part of that plan yet, huh?
Well, it's going to happen regardless, so I don't see how it could hurt. It's just I don't want to upset you, but you're a tough sort. You'll get over it. Somebody needs to die. I believe Ruth explained this at the Genius's trial.
She said somebody would, but it sounded like liberal bullshit. Just fear-mongering, you know.
No, she was right. Somebody does have to die. I was hoping it would be a frost giant. That was the plan. If not, somebody in the village. That would be unfortunate. I think obviously the egregore agreed that it was unfortunate, which is why it didn't display any of my tales until recently, until my plan failed. And then I realized that I would be willing to take the place of the necessary soul. So I've made peace with it. If it's me. It doesn't have to be me. But
do they have to die a certain way, or do they just have to die?
No, they just have to die.
Okay.
I mean, it won't be you if that's what you're worried about. You have birthday armor, so you're fine.
True. And I've been working on another trick up my sleeve too.
Oh, really?
I went to see Ruth and she taught me to meditate on my thoughts, cultivate my feelings. As I said, more liberal bullshit, but I've been cultivating negative thoughts.
Oh, I see. Ruth is very useful, isn't she? We go way back.
She is useful.
Not that she knows that. For the record, it's complicated.
She's just so willing.
Yeah, people want to help. It's one of the qualities I like about this place. Everyone's so helpful. But do you have any concerns you'd wish to discuss? I assume you're worried about covering your tracks vis-a-vis meeting with me. There's a lot of mind readers in this village and a lot of busybodies, a lot of nosy people. I have my concerns about the efficacy of the rest of the Moist Watch. Frankly, they've been letting, people kind of get away with everything. Anytime anyone steps a toe out of line, Neellith is like, I'll take the punishment. It's very annoying.
She does love to get herself involved in everyone else's business.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
She took responsibility for me. Condescending.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of changes you're going to make when you're in charge of the Moist Watch?
I think there are certain people who should be on the watch. And there's the rest of the town who need protecting. And I think at the moment some people are out of their place.
I agree.
If somebody has to die, I might have an idea.
At this point, there is quite a commotion outside, and I think you both are a little stunned by stuff going on. Whatever you say next here, the audience doesn't get to hear it because the audience in this podcast setting, see Basil run by the window, followed quickly by Kaboom and Kablam chasing Basil, which shouldn't be possible. They shouldn't be able to get that far from the monolith.
Uh-oh.
Oh, right. Because the machine is stopped, the monolith no longer has that limitation. Has that
They're no longer tethered in place.
Yeah, the inevitable used their time magic to turn off the machine. There's still some of that magic in the monolith, so I'm not foreclosing the possibility of genius stuff going forward. But they're no longer tied to it. That's the important thing. And also time travel is extremely off the table from now on. This time, I promise.
I did listen back the first time that time travel happened. You were like, yep, never happening again this season.
Listen, here's my thought for this Kitsune arc. arc was you were going to go to the 10 locations asking questions, trying to figure out who is secretly the kitsune, like a Among Us or The Thing.
Yes, and then you unprompted offered us a time heist.
Someone crit, and I gave a lot of options, and you picked one. This is improv, baby. I'm not planning this out. And let me say, even if I had predicted a time heist, I wouldn't have predicted that you'd use it to go have a threesome with yourself and then turn into a baby.
And you don't know us, Austin.
And luckily choosing the exact time locations to go to actually suss out the specific information necessary for all this on top of everything else.
Pretty good. Pretty successful time heist.
Very, very, very successful time heist for information, yes.
Big pat on the back all round, gang. I think we nailed it. Good time heist.
We did. Absolutely.
Everyone definitely came out of that fine.
Flawless, no issues, no consequences. Everyone had a great time and wound up great.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of just walking around the village being like, where does Marina get those drugs? Why is Applewhite not... why did Applewhite import a bunch of tum-tums? And then
I think that arc would have ended with us killing Gigi, though, mistakenly.
Oh, geez.
So...
Yeah, I think I was going to lead you to people saying, like, Hale never used to share his magic items. Like, he was very jealously protective of them. And then him giving them out to everyone is such a big change. Like, that was kind of the thread you would unravel to learn that.
Right. Oh, shit. Of course, because you're trying to lead to that dragon side of, like, hoarding something, and Hale would hoard magic artifacts. You got me there. Good.
Yeah, but instead, this entire other thing happens, and now the timelines have re-merged, because when the Quarut turns off the machine, Basil and Kaboom and Kablam are free. This causes the meeting between Nobi and Inri to end. They say something, like it's like an end of that Bill Murray movie. Somebody whispers something in somebody's ear, but we don't get to hear it.
I imagine in the HBO adaptation of this, you wouldn't be able to hear what was said, but if you were really good at lip reading, you might be able to get a spoiler for, like, a few episodes down the line.
Yeah, Reddit would have a fucking field day, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
10,000 posts in one thread in one day, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that ends the meeting, and then we cut back to the dump as...
Wait. Fox in translation, there you go.
Yeah.
Fox in translation.
Fuck it. Fox in trans... Oh, you got it.
Wrap up the podcast, it's done, we did it.
Podcast is canceled. See you later, everyone. All right.
We cut back to the dump where the party has put Neellith in a little cup, and they put the little cup on Cat. And what do you do next? I genuinely don't know how this is gonna shake out. We have thrown some ideas around over the week, but I do not know what you're gonna do.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to be around everyone or away?
I can't hold all of you up when there's Hale that needs rescuing.
This is true, but the Kitsune does not know we are coming. And you are going through something. I cannot imagine this must be awful to lose your progress.
Shoko's there, and she says, "You're cute. She's tapping her claw on your cup.
Cat, can you please take me literally anywhere other than where Shoko is? Literally anywhere else on the planet.
Bye, Shoko, you are being insensitive. Goodbye.
Yeah, Aze's trying to pull like Shoko away until like Cat is able to get far enough away, and then Aze will follow behind as quickly as he can.
I think Cat is plodding towards the Wind and Dine flare, just because, like, you know, anywhere away from Shoko, but like Neellith's home is probably the most sensible bet. You know,
indeed, probably not a bad call.
Yeah.
I have only made a tiny progress from my awareness of myself, and I would not give it up for all the gold on the mountains.
As much as I had my problems with that body, I made it my own, and that took a lot of work, and that didn't come easy, and it didn't come easy being okay with the body I had, and it's overwhelming to put that work in and feel like it's all just vanished.
Do you want to go home and we can figure it out. Me and Mothers and your friend, we can talk about your options.
Maybe that might be the right call. I think for now, talking is maybe the best thing, and maybe I know I've pushed back on this for a while, but maybe I should at some point just talk to Ruth, because it's her job to be good at emotions are happening, help.
If the party's approaching the wine and dine flare, you see Basil and Kaboom and Kablam chasing each other through the village, kind of like in the middle distance now. And then I assume, Nobi, you come out the front door?
I mean, there was a commotion outside, so I'm kind of like, would Nobi not come out? But then if people were like, it entirely depends whether you think that Nobi would know that then people were coming to go in.
No, I assumed that you just poke your head out to see what was going on, see the party, and then just be like, hey, you're back, and just kind of rejoin nonchalantly. Unless you want to roll stealth, like slip away.
Yeah, I think similar to the ruse that he was trying when he went in, he would come out like,
Hey everyone, do you know where Neellith keeps her pickles? Actually, where is Neellith? Have you... What's going on?
Neellith, do you want me to put wine in your cup?
Honestly, that might ease this a little. I don't know what a good serving size for me is for me anymore.
I'll be back. And then Slime just slithers off.
Probably water it down with a little water.
You run by Nobi without acknowledging him?
Yep.
Cat goes,
Hey, Nobi, Neellith is in the cup.
Hey, Nobi, hi.
Whoa.
Nobi is for once speechless.
Time cop stole my time.
Her body has gone. She will need a new body.
I need to work that out. That's gonna be a minute. How are you? How was therapy?
Yeah, really good. Really good. Working through all my issues. Looks, did you find everything you needed in the time heist? Did Slime have a threesome with herself? I bet.
You called it in one.
Did you see younger Aze get traumatized at all? I feel like that's something that would inevitably happen.
Neela looks over to Aze, not like speak.
Cat looks
on
as
his
well. I
behalf.
feel like this is like everyone turns to look at Aze.
Aze's looking at Basil and will just say, and will not even acknowledge Nobi's question by saying over to Neellith, I will give you some time to gather your thoughts, Neellith. I'm going to see if I can help Basil over there as he's being accosted by Kaboom and Kablam for the time being. I will be back shortly. And then he goes to try to placate the flumps to get Basil some protection.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd need the wild magic table. Here we go.
Yep.
Should have seen this coming.
You listen, okay? Listen. Basil is the other creature that Ozzy rolled a natural 20 animal handling with, so Ozzy has like an instinctive kinship with Basil and wants to do right by him. So
I rolled a 45. You cast levitate on yourself. Okay, I mean, they're flumps. They can already fly. I guess I'll say that what happens is that in the background, you see one of, Kaboom shoot Aze with the slingshot, and then Aze goes floating away. And that's just happening in the background.
I'm just imagining how indignant Aze must feel right now.
Ozzy's desperately hugging around Basil's neck to keep himself from floating too far away for momentum wise, and just saying just like and just trying to just persuade Kaboom and Kablam to stop chasing Basil around.
Yeah, we can return to this and play that out if you want, but I like it as a background event to us.
Yes, absolutely. No, that's fine. We don't need to play it out. I'm just saying, in the background, that's what Ozzy's working on while more interesting things are happening here. So,
Slime walks out with their arm fully extended from their body, walking very carefully with a glass of wine. I've brought the adequately dosed poison.
Oh goodness. Just a couple of drops in here, and we'll see how we do. We'll work from a few drops up.
All right. I could die at any moment. Just a few drops. There you go. Do you feel the chemical burn?
I do. Thank you.
I'm told this is fun for you.
I'm now realizing that this is like the little bit extra from the still that you made with Potter, because canonically there is not that much alcohol in town.
So I was about to say, I think watered down alcohol, you could maybe get the little drips from the end of the still, and we can probably get away with that flavor wise.
Mm-hmm.
I just stole it.
Yeah, I think once everyone's inside, Neellith is gonna take a second and then turn to Slime and say, I hope you don't mind me asking, how do you feel when you lose a body you've had for a while?
I feel sad because I start to see myself inside of it, but do you still call yourself Neellith?
I do. I know I'm still me, but...
Do you still like to cook?
I do, yeah.
I can't say I have the same experience because I'm an immortal slime colony, but I do want you to know that even when I lose my bodies, I still feel like I'm still slime, even when I'm inside of them. But...
Does it take you long to look at a new face and see yourself again?
I really have to think now. This is the first time I have to think.
Yeah, when at the beginning of the season, Laura's like, I want to be more explicit with like the trans themes, and I was like, sure. And it's like, oh my, we really committed to it.
Okay, I want to. I'm cis.
I will say,
can you help me?
In my defense, I did not know I was going to go this hard on it, and then fucking this happened, and I guess we're here now.
Laura, like Laura, you got two things going on. We got consequences and themes.
Yeah.
I can only say how my character is, and I don't want to misunderstand like a core thing.
No, I 100% am like saying for your character who is not necessarily a trans character, what their personal answer is, and that's all I'm looking for.
I don't see myself as my bodies. My bodies are a function for me to get to be able to do the things I want to do, like spend time with you, protect this town, and make connections. I see myself as the web between people, and the bodies I take are a tool to which I can do that. My identity is outside of my body, and, well, technically inside. My identity is inside my body, because that's where my slime is, who is me.
Thank you. It's...
So to me, whether you're in this form or whatever form you be, you will always be Neellith.
Nobi interjects, like, completely cross-topic, like,
But if, wait though.
like he's been, a little bit like, slack-jawed, figuring things, like, working through realizations, and he goes,
But wait, Neellith, if you take someone else's, are you gonna take someone else's body in the? Will they die? Will you kill someone if you take someone's body in the village?
I'm hoping to find a way not to do that.
But if you take someone's body, they die, right?
Yeah, they do.
What if they're evil?
I eat their brain and I become them. They stop being them.
Can you eat the kitsune's brain?
So, just as a thing, I don't know enough about Ceramorphosis mechanically. Austin, is it killing the person, or is the person alive but just no longer themselves, the host?
It is 100% murder. Yeah.
Yes,
In
yeah.
fact, weird timing. Baldur's Gate 3 just came out, and that's the plot of that game.
Yeah.
Whoa, is it murder or is it killing?
So,
there's a difference.
Here's the thing: morally, Neellith definitely will answer this question as it is killing. I'm mainly curious about, like, hey, if someone needs to die in this town, will that count as someone dying in this town?
Right, which is obviously what Nobi's all about too.
Yeah, obviously know what Nobi's getting at, and I'm just curious out of character now.
I'm just thinking kitsune tentacles.
I know it would probably solve a lot of our immediate problems if I did that. I don't want to kill someone to further. I don't want to do that. And even if I didn't disagree fundamentally with doing that, even if I could convince myself that that was for the greater good and some sort of utilitarian purpose, I know myself better than I did last time I took a host body, and I don't want to take his.
I thought the kitsune was a girl, sorry.
I'm pretty certain that Austin's used exclusively he, him pronouns for...
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought, sexy fox is a girl. I don't know.
It's been he, him the whole time, but also I'm doing a deliberate inversion of the trope, so I can understand where you can get confused. Yeah, that's
this is something I clarified with Austin off air before we recorded. Neellith, as much as she is morally opposed still to the idea of forcibly taking a body the way she was before, and she doesn't like the idea of that being the solution to this problem. Yeah, she doesn't want to take a male host body.
Would you like us to accommodate your tadpole form in the meantime until you feel comfortable eating someone's brain?
In the short term, I'm not going to be much use to any of you as part of the Moist Watch.
You've never been wetter.
I have never been wetter. You're right. I am very wet.
I will be drier to accommodate.
Yes.
We must keep the moist balance perfect.
Yeah. Look, in the meantime, I think it might be better if you find someone else to help go rescue.
Absolutely not. I found this glass flask. Coming with?
I'm happy to come with you in the glass flask, but you're gonna be a person down fighting a pretty terrifying foe. I, at the very least, have someone to, do hits and kicks when I can't.
Maybe you should just step down from the Moist Watch and let somebody else who can handle it better right now take your place.
Are you wearing the birthday armor right now, Nobi, or is it just sitting on the table, like nobody mentioning?
Well, that was why I was kind of asking the question, because I wanted, they're two very silly mental images, but yeah, so it's I have to be wearing it until it gets used up, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Then yeah, he'd be wearing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Inri did prestidigitation on the plates and took him into the kitchen and slipped out the back. So there's not that much evidence. Maybe if someone really carefully investigated the kitchen, there could be evidence that something happened here. Mm-hmm. But he's not so stupid that he left it obvious something went down, except for the hat.
I think Neellith is a key asset to the team.
I don't know how long I'm going to be. If I found a body today.
Then we will find a body today.
No, if I found a body today, it'd still be at least a week or so before I was any use to you again, at best.
Then we can delay operations. You are a crucial part of this team, because you are our friend.
I hate the thought of Hale spending another week trapped down in that dungeon because I made a stupid choice.
It was not a stupid choice. It was a logical one at the moment.
Sorry, I feel like I've not been caught up on the entire situation. I had my therapy session while you all did the time heist. What did you actually find out?
There's a bunch of stuff going on. Hale isn't Hale. The real Hale is trapped in a dungeon. That's immediately what's going on. We need to go save Hale. That's like priority number one for the team.
Are they dying?
I don't know. They're trapped in a dungeon.
Then they're fine.
They might be dying.
If he has kept Hale this long, why would he kill him now?
Neellith, would you like to stay in tadpole form for a while in order to adjust to your new situation?
Right now, I just want to take my time and see what happens. People willing to just willingly give me their bodies are not just growing on trees.
Well, we could just keep you in this little flask, and if we find any good bodies on the way, you can just plop in one.
No, there are only 10 options. You're not going to stumble across them, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the body needs to be living. The body needs to be living in order to be inhabited.
The body still needs to be living, so we would have to find someone on our travels who is willing to just go, yeah, sure, I'll die for you.
I guess there's 11 options because Hale and Inri are two separate characters.
True.
Yes.
So it can't be a squirrel?
I could be a pizza rat.
Well, yeah, we can pizza rat.
Not to be an asshole, but there are severe limitations on the size and intelligence of the creature. I was actually thinking of being very flexible in allowing you to be any of the villagers. I think rules is written. You probably wouldn't be able to, but I was like going to stretch it that far. It does not go to squirrels and rats.
No, I'm being deliberately silly. I am aware that this is a thing that has to be decided with the limited reason that either is no choice or one of the 11 choices available.
Okay, so maybe we drop off Neela at therapy and we find a new team member.
Ooh, you could eat the therapist.
I'm not just gonna decide to eat someone, okay?
Well, they're kind of morally gray. I'm just saying we wouldn't be upset.
Everyone
She
here
doesn't
is
seem to enjoy living.
Look, everyone here is my friends, and I'm not gonna kill someone just because I want to have an easier or better life. I'm not gonna do it.
Well, the therapist isn't very good at their job. Maybe you could take.
I am not gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna forcefully take someone's life.
One additional lore bit that the audience may not be familiar with is that there is a time limit. If illithid tadpoles don't get a host, they eventually become mindless monsters. So
yeah, it's not like a instantly gonna happen thing, but that's eventually a thing.
Can you build a vegan body? And
No,
But we don't know about mindless, do we?
I think that would be something that Neellith would know, and I think would make aware. I think she'd say, look, I'm happy to, take my time and try and find options and see what happens, but I really don't want to forcefully take someone over, even if they're a bad person. No one deserves to have their very sense of self unwillingly taken, and I will do my best to wait and hope that I don't end up waiting too long and losing myself in the process. But I did it once. I'll do it again.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can you eat the brains of the terminally ill?
yeah, that's how Neellith got our original body. I believe the party knows that now, don't they?
yeah.
Yeah, I think we. I don't know if we've explicitly said that, but yes, it was person who is dying. Neellith was like, "Yep, I'll have that."
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no one I'm aware of is terminally dying in town currently.
They could be.
Yeah, I think Neellith is gonna sort of draw this, at least for now, to an end and say I think what I need right now is I need to talk to Ruth. I know I've been hesitant to do so thus far, but hey, I'm starting to acknowledge that maybe feelings are a thing I should probably talk about sometimes.
So I say drop off Neellith at therapy and find a new team member, and nobody listens, and that's where we end up anyway.
No, I also said that, before you did as well, Nobi. I'm not ignoring you. I also think that's a good idea. I do agree that they should probably find someone else to fill my spot for a while. I am acknowledging you, Nobi, and you are correct. That is what I was trying to get to. You are right.
Has anyone seen Farmer Applewhite? She's fucking huge. She's big as shit.
Ooh, maybe you can eat them. Oh wait, no, we're not eating. No, we're not eating right now.
I can wait outside while you have therapy.
The one thing I think I'll add as the journey over is made is I think at some point Neellith will get Kat's attention and just say, Kat, never let anyone stop you being you. You're fabulous.
I swear to you, friend, I will not. I think you're fabulous.
I think with that, Neellith goes back to just silently curling up down the bottom of the flask.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have the Neellith Ruth therapy scene. In fact, we actually earlier in this arc said, oh, they have to do a therapy scene for next downtime. I guess we're just moving that up.
Yeah.
But to stagger two heavy Neellith scenes with something in between, let's get what the party does while Neellith is at therapy.
Kat probably waits outside in order to be able to transport Neellith back to wherever after. So would be absent from this.
Also, you can just be Nobi, so you don't have to have two voices in the scene. That also works out.
Funny that.
Do you want to get... does the party go help Ozzy? Ozzy, you didn't speak in that whole scene, right? You were in the sky?
I mean, well, levitate doesn't make you go that high up, from my understanding.
Yeah, just jokes.
Like Ozzy's been floating off the ground, holding on to Basil's neck while trying to talk down Kaboom and Kablam. I don't think we need to play that whole thing out, but
we can if the party arrives to see it. Yeah, that's fine.
They could arrive towards the back end of it for sure.
As we arrive. Yeah, as we arrive, like, if Slime had any move to intervene on the scene we're watching, Nobi goes like,
wait, no, let's watch this.
So Ozzy would be upwards of 20 feet in the air, but he is desperately holding on to Basil to keep himself from floating for too far away, while just sort of like just pleading up to Kaboom and Kablam, just saying it's like, this chase you're giving here is no longer necessary, you two. It's clear that your freedom should be sufficient enough for you to spread the word.
Don't worry, Dad, I got you up there.
Where does levitate, like, hit you? Like, is it your center of gravity, or are Ozzy's, like, feet, like, way up above his head?
Oh, feet are way up his head. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaboom and Kablam are below you, revving the chainsaw and be like, the God Genius has broken our chains and freed us to destroy the heretics. Come down and face your judgment.
I will use my newfound freedom, Father, to keep you safe from floating to the heavens.
You're doing me very proud, Basil, but I don't want you to risk your life for my own sake.
I mean, I'm literally seeing the world outside of one corner for the first time. If I die today, I will die a happy unicorn.
Also, we do have a character sheet for Basil who is fucking yoked.
Oh, yeah.
Unicorns are so strong.
Basil is one of the many character sheets created this week for potential purposes.
Kaboom, Kablam, is there any way to convince you that we are not heretics that are subject to any sort of scorn that you wish to slay upon us?
Swear fealty to the God Genius, or die.
Look, when we were all trapped in one spot, I was very excited for the prospect of leaving because I thought we could go our separate ways and I wouldn't have to, glow at your death anymore, and you could go proselytize to other people that weren't me. Seems like a win-win, really.
If the monolith is off, they're not going to come back if they die, right?
Correct.
Oh, beans. Okay.
Yeah, now these are just magical creatures. They are fae, essentially. Which I guess unicorns are anyway, but it sounds like we're trying to make persuasion checks here. You want to say to them they can go off and proselytize?
Yeah, there's a whole world out there that hasn't heard about the genius. Why waste time on us?
Yeah, essentially, Ozzy's like, if you need believers in the god genius, there is far more possible subjects out there in the world than the mere dozen or so that reside within this residency. Ozzy rolled a 4. I'm not sure how Basil's gonna roll.
Basil rolled a 6.
Oh no!
Can Nobi try something as well?
Well, let's resolve this persuasion check first, which is that it's chainsaw time for Basil.
I will say I'm not surprised that Basil is not convincing. It's hard to be persuaded by someone who's laughed at your death for the last few weeks.
Yeah. Basil did kind of have this coming.
If anything, I should have asked you whether I needed to roll with disadvantage, probably.
17 is the chainsaw attack.
That does reach my AC.
All right. So you are going to take, and you have Basil's stats up, so you know.
Yeah, I got Basil's sheet up. I know what's up.
It says rolling the dice. There you go. 10 damage as the chainsaw, doesn't get deep in there. It goes. Your unicorn hide is like magically toughened, so it slashes you, but it is not a gory mess the way it would be with a normal person.
Are we playing this game? Are we playing this game? I gotta pull up my what things do sheet quickly. I got my character sheet there.
Yeah, so do we want to tell the audience about Basil's sheet? I don't know if it's gonna be permanent, but you have it.
Yeah, I have it. Should it be needed, be it temporarily or not? Basil is a level 9 warlock. His background is new to existence, a custom background I made because he has barely existed very long. What that basically means is he does not get any bonuses or cool abilities because he's only just fucking started existing. Let me have a look here. So he's Pact of the Tome, which gives him some cool access to some spells from some other classes. He's got the ability to do some cool shit like seeing through the senses of another creature. He's a unicorn, so he can do some magic healing a few times a day. His Eldritch Blasts are real good.
And so the flavor on all your magic is that you've been infused with the essence of the machine. You essentially have the same exact patron the genius did.
Yeah, there's a few things I took from the machine patron sheet that Chris was working from. I believe some of that is things like Forged Body, where I can take half damage as a reaction a couple of times a day. Cold Calculation, which does some cool shit. But yeah.
You can bend space-time to attack from a significant distance.
I can do ranged attacks from I can do melee attacks from 60 feet away. Like I can occasionally just like fuck around with space-time.
You can do all that stuff that Genius was doing, including, now that I think about it, remember in that first downtime scene when Shoko chopped off the Genius's hand and it just pulled itself back together with wires? I think that's the flavor. Like the chainsaw bites into your hide and like cuts you open, and then the wound mostly pulls itself back together with like wires because you are like a construct of the machine. You are, unicorn and synthetic almost.
I think Basil is gonna fire back at Kaboom and Kablam an Eldritch Blast.
2 of them.
Because because they're above level 5, they get to do 2 beams, so they're gonna fire 1 at each of the flumps. 23 for the first beam.
Oh my god.
20 for the second.
Woo! Definitely hits.
So yeah, those are both gonna hit. Cool, that's great. And let me roll that damage for each one.
And I assume this comes out of your horn, and it has some kind of dark, like almost mechanical. Like, is it like the black gears? Like, what does it look like?
We're inventing Alolan Rapidash right now.
I like to think like gears forming along the horn and then like collapsing and then shooting out as a beam, like in that sort of respect.
I was thinking more a different take on mechanical stuff. I think that the Eldritch Blast is sort of dark and thick, almost liquidy, almost like it's sort of like engine oil.
Yeah.
An engine oil-esque Eldritch Blast. So the first one does 5 damage, and the other one does 9 damage.
Nice, yeah. So you hit them both, and they are startled, because usually you don't attack them personally. Nobi and Slime, do you want to intervene in this before we get back in?
Yeah, the thing I wanted to try with Nobi was to say, and you can tell me if this requires a roll, but like say really loudly, like,
You know, Slime, one thing I've always thought about Shoko is she loves to take machines apart. She just loves every kind of wacky invention in town. She just loves to sneak in and take it apart the moment that it's unattended. That's her favorite thing.
Yeah, it sounds like performance that you're trying to make this. I know it could be persuasive, but yeah.
19.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So with a 19, I'll say somewhat dissuaded from your Eldritch Beam. I think that also plays a part in this. Did you say out loud, oh, they can die permanently now too?
Yeah.
Let's make that, yeah.
Yeah, so putting all those factors together, they're under attack, they're mortal now. Shoko might take apart the monolith. They say, all right, Basil, you win this round, but the god genius will have the last laugh when they return.
I'm more than happy for you to wait until their return, and see, really it shouldn't be you two judging me. Wait until the genius gets back and see what they want to do.
Let those without sin cast the first Eldritch Blast.
I have literally existed not long enough to sin. What even is a sin?
We would love for the genius to come back. Do you know when? If we hurt you, will they come back faster?
No, everyone knows that from the vision that Slime gave them that the genius will return in 5 years, so...
Well, then I guess we have nothing to worry about and your threats are empty.
That you will all be destroyed when the genius comes back? I think you should be very worried.
They're our friend. They were our friend before they were your friend.
We will literally just be like, oh, hey, genius, how you been? Well, I mean, they will. I've never met the genius, but I assume that I will also be a part of this.
I will say that during all this, like, while Ozzy's clutching on to Basil, he's, like, petting Basil, like, just gently, like...
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Giving Basil plenty of moral support, you know.
Yeah.
Basil, who is once again a unicorn with a narwhal horn and some narwhal features, like the tail is...
As he's being pet, Basil is just quietly whispering, lads.
all equine in this universe love saying lads.
Yes!
Nobi goes,
When the genius returns, I'll probably vet them for security in the town, to do a kinetic assessment, see if they're ready to integrate into the community.
When the god of love returns, there will be hell to pay. Kaboom and Kablam retreat to the monolith.
Does the concentration on levitate dissipate after they leave, I take it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so like Ozzy and Basil float back down, and Ozzy's just like clutching carefully onto Basil the whole time.
Once far enough down toward the ground, Basil is literally just going to sort of pin Ozzy down to the floor until such time as it seems like they're no longer trying to float away.
You're welcome.
Super appreciate it, thank you. Oh hey, it's you, it's Bestie. We hung out over by the monolith not that long ago. How are you doing?
No, I was at therapy. Shut up.
yeah, I was just thinking that through.
Yeah, after therapy, I came to talk to you about that secret plan that we're not talking to people about.
Oh no!
Gosh,
no,
dang
no,
it!
No, I'm not
well,
saying
now
anything.
you've blown my cover that I'm planning birthday presents for everyone.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just happy to see a friend.
Well, I told everyone I was at therapy. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm not used to having friends. Didn't know I was supposed to do this.
Ozzy will pet Basil, and she's like, it's fine. We all make mistakes occasionally. All we can do is try our best and move on when we make mistakes.
Is that Ozzy's philosophy on life? just okay.
He's
If you're gonna try and make my horse feel bad, my horse is gonna make you feel bad.
Ozzy will make everyone feel bad. Don't worry. Anyways, moving on. But Ozzy will then stand up and dust himself off, and then just say, "Well, so Nobi, Slime, what is the situation for Neellith?"
They're in therapy.
Cat went with them because, no legs right now.
I wish I knew of a way to help her more, but...
We could sacrifice your brain to her. Oh, wait, nope, you can't.
No,
You're not a girl.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
You could give someone a fatal illness, and then...
That feels like a very inappropriate...
But if Neellith never found out, then she would think it was fine.
Yeah.
Come on, just give Marina just a little tiny tumor.
Look, from what I have learned in my time existing, death is impermanent, so just find someone to die briefly, and then they'll come back in a couple minutes, right?
Can we use time to make someone go back in time so then there's two of them and then one of them can... No, that they'll eventually be...
Okay, look, I wasn't on the time heist, but my rough understanding is that the time heist was not like that, and it was more like a VR experience, rather than an actual causal...
If we took a bunch of body parts and sewed them together and then electrified them and then they became alive, could Neellith eat that brain?
Right, we just make sure we pick all the right body parts.
Once again, why are you all talking about death like it is a permanent thing? It's not a permanent thing, right?
Basil, you can die now.
I'm fairly certain that what was sustaining Kaboom and Kablam, and you for that matter, was the monolith. And it appears that the monolith is no longer active. So the magic that was sustaining life for you all is no longer the case. So I believe you're merely a mortal like us, Basil.
I had not considered the possibility that death might be a forever thing. This changes a lot. I understand your predicament a little bit better now. You all seemed very strange for a few minutes there.
I mean, does it change a lot? You don't have possessions or relationships.
Well, yeah, but my plan to just suggest just kill someone, a little bit different weight now, I know that.
It's no longer a conflict resolution style.
Ozzy still has an arm around Basil, just resting arm around his son's shoulder, effectively sort of vibe. Just
Dad, I'm probably going to need to read a book or something. It seems like the world is a little bit bigger than what I thought.
If you need a place to stay that is away from Kaboom Kablam, you can probably room up with Drip over at my place, Basil, if it means anything.
Appreciate it.
Everyone's just gonna start calling it the stables now instead of the fucking...
Can we put Neellith in the Voltron?
That's an idea.
I would love if that was even remotely how it worked, but no, it has to be brain tissue.
If we put a brain... What if we made Mold put a brain in the thing and then Neellith ate the brain? Because they were putting their body...
I feel like that's just really tricking Neellith into eating a brain more than it is giving her an option.
A volunteering brain.
That's like a prank, really.
It's like you can't solve every problem just by using your slime.
It wasn't my slime, it was Mold slime. They have the technology.
When Aze says about putting Basil in his house with Drip, Nobi says,
Yeah, he can stay in your cave.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Ozzy just sort of looks at Nobi for a moment and then just says nothing in response to that before remarking to Slime. It's like, so this does throw a bit of a wrench into our immediate plans of what to do now that we're back here.
Oh, rescuing Hale.
Wait, Hale needs rescuing?
I would prefer not speaking about that publicly.
Oh, I don't know anything. No one needs saving. What did I hear? Nothing. No. Although if you did want some help, I'm now free to actually, do things. I can help.
And you're beefy.
Yeah.
Beefy as hell.
Ozzy sort of looks to Basil and just sort of looks him in the eyes like, Basil, you've only experienced freedom for a few moments, and a good amount of that time has been spent with me clutching onto you with a vain attempt to keep from floating away. Are you certain that you would want to take on such a burden so quickly?
I mean, I was pretty alright at stopping you from floating away. I reckon I could probably handle, new experiences.
Freedom is overrated anyway. You live in a little basement underneath the Genius's workshop. We all live in this town. What's the difference? Society, it's kind of like a prison if you think about it.
Ozzy is ignoring Nobi some more and just giving Basil a big hug around his neck, and it's just like...
Nobi was trying to be validating to Basil there.
I know, but it's so pessimistic about what living in the town is like. Aze is choosing to ignore it. And he just gives Basil a bit of a hug. It's like,
no. I'll say this. If life is as permanently unpermanent as it seems, and I could die at any minute, might as well go do some stuff that, is actually worth, risking that fragility for, and not just, stand around and have a tree get me or something. I don't know, a tree's particularly deadly.
I've heard stories about certain trees in particular, but...
Well, exactly. I'd rather, go, help someone and that be what does me in than, oh no, a tree got me. It's not a particularly good story, is it?
I like that spirit, Basil. You're a trooper, You're dedicated to fighting the good fight.
Ozzy will nod a bit. It's like, well, the choice is yours, and it appears that you are set with your decision, Basil.
Well, I mean, if the fact that Hale is missing is not a thing we're meant to talk about, then at least if I help, then no one else has to get told about it. I think that makes sense.
I think we can work with this for the time being. I do think that we do still need to rest up a little bit after everything that we've gone through.
Oh yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
Perhaps after Neellith is done with her session, we should take a moment and pay Venta a visit to gather our thoughts and prepare ourselves before making any sort of final motions.
Adventure bros, adventure brothers, adventure bros, adventure bros.
Yeah, if you all want to go to Venta's barbershop and vibe with Kat's mural, you will get arcane recovery in addition to taking your short rest, which means, actually, Slime will get it twice because as a wizard, you already have arcane recovery.
Yep.
Also roll hit dice. Remember, you don't get the bonuses Neellith normally gives you as a bard or as a person with a bunch of snacks because Neellith is not going to be there. So roll all that stuff while we cut back to Neellith.
Oh shit, Neellith can't currently make Nobi and Cat talking foods.
I know, I've been thinking about that. Depending on how this shakes out, I have plans, but I literally don't know what we're gonna do, so...
I'm very curious. There are some ways this could go.
How is this looking? So you assume you're in your little cup. You got Ruth floating on the therapist's big comfy chair. She's got a little notepad in one of her tentacles, a little quill. How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel like, there definitely could have been better circumstances for me to come in for a proper therapy session.
Well, this is true. It is never too late, however. Do not think of the time that is lost. Think of all the time that you are gaining by going to therapy.
I mean, yes, but like half the things that were gonna be on my list don't really apply at the second. I picked a weird day to come.
Yes, but this is an opportunity as well. If you were suffering from the discordance you had with your previous body, is this not an opportunity to eliminate that?
On paper, yeah. In practice, I worry that I've lost the one chance I was gonna have at having a body without having to give up my principles to do so.
Yes, this element is most troubling. Obviously, I do not endorse murder. However, I think you will find the village is full of selfless people who may be more open to an arrangement than you may suspect. Personally, Neellith, you are a great friend to me, and I would be willing to consider something. After all of the things you have done for me, I owe you my life.
I don't want you to feel like you have to offer that because of what I did or anything. You wouldn't be alive anymore. That's the very thing I was trying to keep from happening to you.
Yeah, I think I'll need to add a content warning for like discussions of euthanasia. Is that even the correct term here?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry this has gone such a heavy episode. I hope this is okay.
Yeah, but no, I think Ruth says, I have lived a long time and I have done many things, and I would consider it an honor to help my friend who has saved my life. It is not only because you have done that thing for me, but it certainly shows the depth of our relationship. Otherwise, in town, Very would give you their body, definitely. Although I understand that's not ideally compatible. You could ask Marina or Farmer Applewhite. I assume Shoko and Sun Moon Stars are not available.
She's already been brood mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 is a crowd.
Well, I mean, no, you'd have to eat her brain. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta have my brain for raising her abomination.
I don't know what to say. I arrived here very, very resigned to spending a long time searching for a body, and I am honestly a little surprised that you would be willing to give up yours and that you think that you might not be alone. I don't know why. I didn't think anyone in this village saw me like that.
Oh, Neellith, we all love you. You're the best of us. Who else could have stood in front of the whole town and declared that they would take all of the punishment? You've done it again and again. For Nobi, for myself, and now for Shoko. You give and you give. Why would you not deserve to receive?
It's not easy to accept when you feel like giving is the only thing you can do for people around you.
People pleaser gang represent.
You feel like that's the thing that makes... Yeah. Look, I just want people to be safe and to be happy, and the only way I know to do that is to give and to sacrifice to keep them safe. It's what I do. It's how I help.
Yeah, so there's only so much psychological help I think Ruth can give you here, but she is offering to let you use her brain. There isn't, to my knowledge, any canonical material about illithid flumps. This seems like new territory. We're gonna say
Tentacle squared.
tentacles. We're gonna say it works, but I'm looking at the other people that if the only bodies you would be comfortable in are she, her. You're pretty limited by Shoko selfishness, Sun, Moon, Stars being accounted for, and while Marina earlier did discuss having a crush on you, her being racist really turned everyone off, and
it did.
isolated her. And I don't know, Farmer Applewhite. Like, she's a good person, but also she just has a bunch of tum-tums.
She's not a person that Neellith has really spent the time building that relationship with outside of, you are where I get food.
As a side note, there's also like a little bit of a kinship in what Ruth and Neellith, how they interact with others. They're both concerned with the mental well-being of others and stuff like that. So there's lots of layers where there's a lot of connections between Ruth and Neellith.
Yeah.
Beyond what they just fostered. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. I think Neelith's first response to this offer, once it really sinks in, is the awareness that, like, Ruth is really the only person in town that she would feel okay taking this offer from. And I think Neelith's very quickly comes to the realization, I either say yes to this offer or I commit to not having a host for probably a very long time. And I think after a lot of pondering and a lot of thinking, after a very long silence, the first thing she says to Ruth is, are you sure it's okay for me to accept this gift from you?
It would be an honor.
I can't promise how much of you, if any, will be left after this. The way this is meant to work is that you're just gone. I know that the first time I ceramorphosized, I seemingly kept some of my old friend with me. And I don't know whether that was a one-off or not. Maybe some part of you will live on in my memories, and I hope dearly that is the case. But it might not be. Are you sure that that's okay to risk?
I think I could do with some peace. I will not be forgotten. I am not worried. Perhaps we should both speak with Pastor Very before beginning the process, though.
I can't promise I will remember the things you remember. But I will never forget you.
I love you, Neellith.
I love you, Ruth. Thank you.
So it's not easy to transition out of that conversation.
No, certainly not.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves our comedy podcast.
I will say, despite the tone of the scene not really being like that, people have been clamoring for a flump player character for so long, and now they finally get it.
Yeah. Of the options on the table, I'm not gonna lie, there was a certain degree of, it'd be cool to have a flump player character, huh?
It's so wild that literally, if I had said one sentence different, Marina would be your best friend, and it would definitely be her. If I had just not said, wow, gremlins have long ears, huh? That was derailed that entire thing.
No, but like again, like I think it also just makes a lot of sense because in terms of like if you're looking at like the social bond stat lines that we have obviously in our character sheets, that was pretty maxed out due to how much time Neellith spent with Ruth during downtime scenes and the like. So
yeah, that's why. Yeah, if Potter wasn't he him, I'd say that's the other one, that person you've built enough trust with, which would be on the table, but.
Yeah, Potter definitely not on the table for Neellith.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Kat bring your little cup to Ventas to have the final conversation before the dungeon? Because Ceramorphosis takes a week, so it's not going to happen today.
Yeah, Neellith is not going to be available for this fight today, so I feel like yes, probably.
Everyone, Neellith is here and she has big news.
Hey, everyone, so I'm not gonna be available for the next week. I did not expect this to happen nearly as fast as it did, but I have a new host body.
Who's offering, if I may ask?
Ruth is. I went to see her just to talk, and she just offered. I spent a while checking, making sure she was definitely sure this was what she wanted, and she wants to help.
Well, it sounds like this will be something where it's worth giving everyone a chance to... I'm not sure if goodbyes are the right words, but to give this the reverence that it needs. And I think in order for that to happen, we do need to get Hale out here in order to join in with that. So...
I want to make sure that everyone gets their chance. I don't know how everyone seems a bit funny with Ruth at the moment, and I get why that is, but I would hope that they can see past that to want to see her before this happens.
I don't want to speak for everyone, but I presume that the reception to this will be warmer than expected.
I hope so. This is something we've both decided together to do, and I hope that people respect that and don't just see it as me, being the scary illithid consuming someone from their town.
I'm happy that it seems that you're able to do this and stay to your principles, Neellith.
I am incredibly lucky to have found a place like this where that is possible. I don't think there's many villages or towns where, couple of hours turnaround, yep, new willing host, cool, done. That's a rarity, I think.
I have only known this town. We have been snowed in for the winter since I arrived. This town is the world, and I am glad that it is.
You've picked a wonderful place to see.
Nobi, something occurs to you at this point, which is that Inri has been working behind the scenes. I mean, if they've told you the whole thing that Hale is missing and here's what the situation is.
Yeah.
You know that Inri killed Laszlo, replaced him, was in a relationship with Voya. They conspired during couples therapy with Ruth to keep Voya in power, but Ruth can't talk about it because of the confidentiality magic.
Yeah.
If Neellith ceramorphosizes Ruth, she will get access to that information but not be bound by the magic, which will blow the whole conspiracy wide open. And I don't know if you care. I don't know if you think, well, the party's about to charge Inri's lair and kill him anyway. I don't know how invested you are in the Voya stuff. All I know is that if Neellith goes through with this, all that's going to come out. And if you care about it not coming out in some capacity, that's a thing to think about.
I think in the HBO adaptation, there's definitely a sequence of like Nobi staring at the mural on the wall that everyone's using to get like that they're feeling when like when you nut, and
I forgot.
He starts to have like all of the voiceovers of flashbacks of like piecing that together. It's like, I couldn't tell anyone because of the magic, and like
I'm gonna have to learn a Ruth-esque voice,
and all of this stuff, right? And like echoey, so it's all him recalling the memories, and he's like, and then he's just like,
So that's how it is.
And that's the scene for Nobi thinking about that. That's all I'll say now.
Mm-hmm.
Venta pokes his head out from behind the curtain and is like, can I get any of these snacks?
I would love a snack.
All right. It's toe food, like finger food, but I'm a boss. You get it.
I do not have fingers.
Does it have a kick to it?
Oh, you know it.
Well, do we just storm in and just fuck some shit up at this point? Is that what we're gonna do now? Is that the appropriate emotional cut to from this point?
Cat goes, turning to Nobi.
Yeah, Nobi, let's go. Fuck.
And Nobi is like,
right, yeah. Hit him up, yeah, sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. like Aze is also like just kind of like, helping Basil get snacked up and just sort of, pep talking him up a bit before they everyone all heads out to the library.
I got this.
You're gonna do just fine, Basil.
Nothing that can't stop me. Yeah.
Afterwards, you and Drip will have to figure out who's going to sleep where, but that's a later problem.
Who gets the top bunk? Just two.
I've got magic and a sense of comprehension of the world. I will happily go wherever. I could probably manage steps up to a top bunk if that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole horse hanging off the top bunk.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the party is going to storm the dungeon, which is Hale's tiny shack. Do you just open the door and walk in?
All right, so yeah, I do think that just like more or less storming in, Aze possibly trying to recall whatever he knows about the layout of the library as well as he can to help lead the charge, but I don't think it's going to be that hard to navigate the dungeon. I mean, like, we could probably do something around that, but it's up to you, Austin, how elaborate you want to make the lead up to the Kitsune be.
Well, every time you've ever visited Hale's, the same thing happens, and it happens again this time, which is you open the door and Hale is right there on a ladder looking through the bookshelves and sees you walk in and just says like, "Draw, partner!" and like mimes shooting guns at you. Except this time you realize it's like a panic mechanism, it's like a, oh fuck, rather than a playful thing.
Basil has never seen fake finger guns before and as such ducks and rolls behind the shelf because death is permanent, he hears.
Who knows what could be a weapon?
What a great contrast to the first time Nobi and Kat came and they immediately started playing back, being like, "No, you give up, varmint." Basil's like,
"I'm very ready to die for the cause, but also, bullets."
Aze will say, "Hello there, Hale. Long time no see."
"It hasn't been that long, partner. We were at the ice rink opening, remember?"
We could have waited. They weren't even uncomfortable.
Aze will say, well, like Aze, like, you misunderstand. I'm talking about Hale and not having seen him in a long time.
Oh, fuck, we doing it this way.
Nobi,
Oh, fuck.
Nobi says, like, turning his back to Hale on the ladder,
Ozzy, this is a bad idea. Hang on.
Hi, I'm very new to being able to move off of one spot, and I hear you have cool things I can see.
Oh yeah, partner. I got all kinds of gizmos and gadgets and whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallits.
I don't know what they're all on about, but I want to see the cool stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. Is your friends coming along and having a little meeting over there?
I'm not used to going places without them. They're my emotional support people.
We're coming with you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Inri, disguised as Hale, will like lead you through the rows and rows of bookshelves to bring you to like a case full of magic items. Do you want to whisper to each other, Nobi and Aze?
To give you some cover while you whisper, Basil is being as loud and excited as possible.
Hale, do you have any magical totems?
Well, sure, amigo. I got all kinds of items. It depends what you call a totem, I guess. I think of totems as being a kind of barbarian magic thing. What do you mean?
I had a skull that I used to cast magic, and now I'm using my girlfriend's eyes. So, it feels a little bit, I'm encroaching on her, personally. It's okay, Simon, really. Well, you did get slashed in the face earlier. Makes me uncomfortable. That makes me feel responsible. And if we both died, who would take care of our screaming abomination? Yeah, I guess one of us has to be at home.
Yeah, Inri walks up to a big case full of magical items and says, well, sure, I got all kinds of arcane focuses if you need one for your wizard spells. I do love a wizard spell, and I love saying wizard. I got right here, look at this. This is a beautiful fan, like a cooling fan, I believe made from some kind of angel bones. Ooh, it's beautiful.
Oh my god, maybe that's my mom's bones.
Maybe. We also got here what appears to be it's a hand holding a cake knife. It has been turned into stone. Look at this, beautiful. Still holding the knife with the severed hand. Both of these, I think, just a beautiful arcane focus if you wanted to cast a magic through them.
Would you say that this hand is petrified or turned into stone?
Petrified, yeah. There's a spell in D&D called Flesh to Stone, which was cast
This is a flesh to stone, right? Okay.
Which was cast on a person, and then their hand was severed while still holding this knife.
Well, I don't want to take Neellith's cooking thing.
No, it's turned to stone. It's not really it's not that kind of
Well,
knife.
it's cooking themed.
Yes, it is. It's a wedding cake knife.
My darling, how do you feel about me using probably your mother's bones to cast? Oh, I love it. It's romantic. And then I get my eyeballs back.
Have you got any cool high-level secret shit? Like the stuff you keep in the back room for, the super secret cool stuff. The coolest of the cool.
Of course, hombre. I got that secret stuff, but I got to work up to it.
Oh, okay. Well, look, if you show me around here, I will take the time. I'll appreciate all of your objects, but I'm cooler than all these rooms. I want to see. I want to go and have a secret solo tour of the cool shit.
Of course, I love sharing my stuff with the community. That adds to everyone's knowledge of them, helps keep people safe.
Yeah.
I always try to give people a choice. I'm trying
to fast track knowledge. I didn't know that death was permanent 5 minutes ago. I feel like seeing your coolest shit is the quickest way I can fast track to understanding.
The wild coincidence of you saying death is permanent in Inri's presence gets a weird look on his face, and he looks away but doesn't respond to that. I just want to acknowledge.
Yep. So to be clear, Basil is trying to create a situation where he and Inri go away somewhere separately and leave room for everyone else to find the entrance to wherever needs going.
Yeah, that was the gist of what Nobi was gonna, whisper at Aze. Was like,
shouldn't we find the real Hale first and make sure he's safe and try and focus on getting him out before we antagonize the kitsune?
Yes, it's just very hard to focus on that, given the circumstance.
I think you're letting the fact that your friend has been replaced override your rational sense to do with the operation.
Basil, can you give me deception to get Inri away from the rest of the party?
Yeah, deception is one of the few things that Basil is good at from a history of no, cats know we're around. Definitely not gonna murder you in about 3 seconds. Nah.
Incredible. Oh, fuck.
Okay,
Remember, Basil hates evil.
Yeah, Basil hates evil. He would as his character sheet says, he would kind of like a certificate stating as such.
Basil Hates Evil is the name of the spin-off sitcom.
Okay, 24.
I can't believe we got 2 spin-offs. It's always Benefic and Grendel and Basil Hates Evil. 24.
I feel like It's Always Benefic and Grendel is just the name of this show.
Oh, okay. 24 gets you exactly what you want. Inri leads Basil away to show you another case full of items. I do want to give Slime the genuine chance. Do you want either the wedding cake knife or the Metatron fan are the names of these 2 items?
Oh, I want the Metatron fan. It's already going down Sun Moon Stars' throat.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's going to give you a +2 bonus to spell attacks and spell save DC, as well as the ability to cast Dispel Magic at will.
Oh gosh. Okay, let me just.
But yeah, if you want to get out of Sun Moon Stars for her safety and take another body and then use that, you can definitely do this. But
For now, we're just spider sacking on her back. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
just spider sack stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Inri takes you over to another case, Basil, and starts explaining the stuff in there. But why don't you, Alze and Nobi, I guess Kat, you're also here. Do you want to roll investigation?
That's fine.
28.
16 from Aze.
No one can escape slime spray.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, 28 is so phenomenal. Obviously, the group passes, but I want to give Slime the specific win here, which is you're putting the Metatron fan down your throat, which is really gross, and everyone else is like walking around kind of looking through the doors, because this place it's palatial. There are like wings of places. There are doors everywhere. Mm-hmm. There are like multiple floors. You can go up and down these ladders and the bookshelves, but you like spray your slime cells all around and then just kind of stand there innocuously as they do the investigation, and they just slip under each and every door looking around. And in a far corner, behind a door, I want to say it is locked, but with your slime cells, you can go under the door handle, or under the door jamb. And you see in here, there's one of the cases, like all the cases that hold all these magical items. It's kind of like a Sleeping Beauty, essentially. There's a big glass topped case with like a velvet interior, and inside is Hale, apparently asleep inside the case. He's
Let's kiss him.
Let's kiss him. Yeah, he's just a dragonborn goblin man. He's lying on his back, hands kind of crossed or like clasped on his chest, lying there peacefully. Doesn't seem to be injured, is not moving. But the door to this is locked, but you know where it is. And then you can rejoin your body. And eventually Inri will finish explaining what's in the case to you, Basil, and walk over. So
I'm glad that it turns out that they're fine and that this isn't a case of them like crying in the corner of a dungeon being like, let me out.
It's funny because I've said, I think after recording to Laura, I said like I considered having Hale been dead the entire time, but I wanted the option to bring back the voice if you wanted it. And you just started chanting, coward, coward, coward.
I cast Rary's telepathic bond.
Read that to the audience.
Okay. You forge a telepathic link among up to 8 willing creatures of your choice within range, physically linking each creature to... Oh.
Psychically linking each creature, I think.
Psychic. Yeah, I was like, wait, I don't know how to read. Psychically linking each creature to all others for the duration. Creatures with intelligence scores of 2 or less aren't affected by this spell. Until the spell ends, the targets can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not they have common language. The communication is possible over any distance, though it can't extend to other planes of existence.
All right, so who do you target with this?
Everybody in our party, except for the weird man that I just took a totem from. I mean, an arcane focus from.
Okay, yeah. Everybody in the party is now in group chat. You're all in Signal.
Oh shit! I forgot to change my username. Oh, fuck! 1 second here. Damn it.
Slime
Where's
rips.
that-
Poop emoji.
Slime rips
Poop
off
emoji.
one of their
Poop emoji.
spider legs and gives it to the man because they feel bad.
Also, to rewind slightly, Austin, I'm very glad you were a coward. Thank you for being a coward.
All right. Thank you for thanking me. What was that last thing, Mari? You gave who to what?
I gave one of my spider legs in payment for the fan.
Okay. Inri takes it and says, well, shucks. Appreciate it.
Slime feels a little bad about being deceptive, so makes
Aw.
them feel better. Hey guys, it's me. I've put psychic slimes in all of your brains. Sorry. I couldn't ask before because I have a secret, and the secret is Hale is in that room over there, in a beautiful glass box. I've seen this before. I think we have to kiss them.
I don't know where you got the idea that we need to do that. I'm pretty sure we can just, take them out and there will probably be other
He is
solutions.
a handsome prince, and I will kiss him awake.
Yes, that's how the magic works.
Maybe wait until he's awake and then see if the handsome prince would like a kiss.
Classic Sleeping Beauty discourse.
Yeah. Well. Azay's just all these people in their head just hating it.
No. Ozzy will just sort of note back.
Poop emoji.
The issue is there a way we can do that before alerting the kitsune?
I vote we retreat. Hale is sleeping. He's okay. We should plan this better. We don't have a good plan.
Are you suggesting we leave and come back another time? Now we know he's safe.
The Kitsune doesn't seem to know anything. He doesn't know that we're onto him. And Hale is fine. Hale is asleep.
Are they in a nightmare world?
Good question.
Well, they were experiencing nightmares. Hale was experiencing nightmares at one point when the Tulpa was here because the spiders were in the library, and that would be Hale's fear.
To buy everyone time while this protracted brain conversation goes on, Basil returns to excitedly running around and going, "What knowledge is in this book? Will this one teach me the thing? What, you have so many books. Where do I start? What is the first book? What book is first?"
It sounds like the party wants more information about this sleep. So perhaps our group Arcana check?
18 from Aze.
17.
5.
Nice.
Hooray! Hopefully I don't fuck it up. 21.
Oh my god. Basil, coming in 17, 18, 21.
It's literally only the only other thing that he has any proficiency in, and it's because he's made of magic.
Basil knocks over the specific book that opens up to the specific page that talks about the specific condition.
It's deception and arcana are literally the two things he can do.
Yeah, I think because you were created out of magic, you have a theoretical understanding of some magic, even if you haven't cast it. In particular, what I'm thinking is you know the spell Time Stop, because Chris and I were talking about creating it with the machine. This is a level 9 spell, one of the most powerful spells. One of the other level 9 spells is Imprisonment. I will read, you create a magical restraint to hold a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be bound by the spell. While affected, the creature doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink, and it doesn't age. And then under that, there are several kinds of imprisonment, and the relevant one is slumber. The target falls asleep and can't be awoken. Let me read here. Ending the spell. During the casting of the spell, you can specify a condition that will cause the spell to end and release the target. A dispel magic spell can only end the spell if it is cast as a 9th level spell.
So that cool fancy new fan can't just turn that off.
Correct. Essentially, you'd have to be a demigod or approaching it, or you know the condition. Let me read this again. This is so fucking important. This is the most important thing I'm going to say this episode. While affected by the spell, the creature doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink. It doesn't age. The target falls asleep and can't be awoken. During the casting of the spell, you can specify a condition that will cause the spell to end and release the target.
Smooches.
So I think that's the reason it's written this way, is because that is, the Grimm's fairy tale condition. You don't know that it is here. But everything I said is like top of the list, most important plot points of the season. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, maybe if the city hadn't outlawed mind reading and Neellith were here in a body, that we could have a solution to this.
Yeah. So do you think also this is a 9th level spell, which you don't, Kitsunes are strong, but it strikes you as even beyond their capabilities to do things like imprisonment or stop time without a particularly powerful magical item. If that sheds any light on why Inri replaced Hale of all people.
Yeah.
I think, again, Nobi in the group chat is like, so I move for tactical retreat.
I'm not the statistician here. This is my first time doing this. I will acquiesce to group vote on this.
I also vote tactical retreat.
Sophie gets 2 votes.
I don't want to see any of my friends get hurt. Neellith is already suffering.
And I mean, maybe when she's got a new body, if we can wait that long, she can, do that zip zap zop, read the brain, find out the thing, get the body awake thing. We'll ask what's it, Fancy Pants over in the in charge office, and get 1 permit for reading some brains.
Oh my god, you're actually going to go get a warrant. I did not see that this was going to end in procedural cop shit and actually getting us fucking warrant.
Yeah, that was literally my first thought as well. It's just like, we'll get special permission.
There is a person being literally held captive. Is that justification for doing 1 mind read, maybe?
Time for a really wacky fucking Philippa episode where she's weighing up whether she thinks that's ethical.
Well, Aze will relay, I don't like the notion of delaying this any further, but we need to at the very least know how to get Hale out in this situation, because there's something that needs to be done to accomplish that. In the meantime, it might be possible to report our findings to Philippa, because at this point we have sufficient information for what she's requested about, well, the Kitsune and where he is and what he's doing.
If that's the plan that everyone's going with and everyone's okay with retreating, then I feel like as everyone is heading out, making nice, pretending like they weren't there, investigating, and so just being grateful for hanging out with their bud, Hale, and all of this, Nobi would slip behind them single file to be the last one out so that he could turn as they leave, look right at Inri and mouth, "They're on to you."
Of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in the summertime.